Barry Jackson came out with some interesting statistics, I guess you can say, about taking an offensive lineman at pick 51. We're going to talk about the potential of trading for more picks and what Tua had to say at his luau last night. Let's jump into this. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, Barry Jackson came out with a fantastic article talking about why not taking a tackle or offensive guard at pick 51 is a good thing for the Dolphins. Also, he talks about how the Dolphins actually might be looking to trade back to get more picks so they could do more in this draft. It's going to be very, very interesting. Also, I got some quotes, which we will start with, from Tua Tagovailoa at his luau. So essentially he says, how do I feel now compared to a year ago? I'm smiling a lot more. So I would say that is good. He says that off-season training has been good, been working on strength in many areas, been chapping away at at things that I felt like I needed to work on to get where I feel like I can get. Geez, Doug. To in a later parts of the season. After seeing the Dolphins reach the playoffs in the first season with McDaniel and Tyreek Hill, Tua has watched with interest as the team has made more additions, including All-Pro Jalen Ramsey. Even though the draft hasn't even taken place yet, Tua admits he's itching to get rolling in 2023. He says, I'm very excited. I think our entire team is excited to get back out there, get to meet a lot of the newer guys and guys who have been in the system for a whole year now. So it's very exciting, and I think a lot of fans, the community, everyone is very supportive. The article says the buzz was evident from the crowded ballroom Monday night, despite the day-long downpour that forced everyone indoors. The event benefit the Tua Foundation, the Jason Taylor Foundation, and Special Olympics with a focus on children education and extracurricular activities. That's awesome. If you don't know about the Tua Foundation and the Jason Taylor Foundation and the Special Olympics, please, I will link them in the description. Go check them out. Fantastic foundations, and obviously the Special Olympics. The Polynesian culture, this is my culture, Tua said, my Samoan culture that raised me. One thing that I did see a lot of growing up was giving back to community, giving back to those that have helped my parents, those that have helped my grandparents, my aunts, and my uncles. Tua showed off his new stash. Yeah, he had that thin mustache, kind of like Vince McMahon. If you don't know what Vince McMahon looks like, I'll pop it up. It's really creepy looking. He says the mustache is new. I don't necessarily like the mustache. My wife likes the mustache, so that's why I left the mustache. I was gonna cut it off today. Happy wife, happy life. I wouldn't be surprised if he either goes full beard or he shaves it off. But I'm pretty sure, everyone and their mother is getting excited to get back on that field. Tua's been working out. If you haven't seen the videos and stuff, I'll post them up now of Tua working out with River Craycraft, with Tyreek Hill, with Jalen Waddle. He's looking in shape. He's looking good. Everyone's working out, though. There's pictures of Braxton Berrios working out. Everyone's trying to get back into shape and getting ready. Like I said, if you didn't see yesterday's video, OTA start on May 22nd. And rookie minicamp is on May 5th to 8th or the 12th to the 15th. So the vets have till the 22nd to get ready and to get into shape. So that's what Tua had to say at his foundation. Again, if you want to know more about the foundations, I will link them in the description. So Barry Jackson came out with an article, and he says, if the Dolphins are tempted to take an offensive tackle at 51 when they're on the clock on the second night of this month's NFL draft, here's some advice. Please don't. And for you guys who know, I wanted the Dolphins to go out and get a vet. There were some guys out there that I think were priced pretty accurately, like McGarry, who's getting $5.5 million this year, and he's getting $12.5 million next year, and he's top 8 tackle in the NFL. He's getting pennies on the dollar for his play on the field. And I'm not one for putting the the health of your quarterback or the blind side in the chance of a draft pick hitting his rookie year. So the fact that Barry Jackson says don't makes me laugh. But here's a stat that he throws out there. He says, since Don Shula wisely picked a future 3-time Pro Bowler guard Keith Sims with the 39th overall pick in the 1990 draft, the Dolphins have selected 17 guards or tackles in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. And then he says, do you know how many of those 17 turned out to be very good players? He says 1. And that's currently Robert Hunt. So since 1990, the Miami Dolphins have taken 17 guards or tackle in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round, and only one of them panned out. This is why you go and get a sure thing with guys who have done it on the field already, and you don't put the future on a chance. He says 3 others among the 17 turned out to be serviceable NFL starters: Todd Wade, John Jerry, and Bill Turner. A few others either failed to come close to reaching expectations, Daniel Thomas, Michael Dieter, or have yet to do some, Liam Eichenberg. The rest of the list is filled with busts: Eddie Blake, Andrew Green, Brent Smith in the 1990s, Wade Smith, Taylor Whitley, Joe Toledo, Sean Murphy in the first decade of the century, Jonathan Martin, Jamil Douglas, Saul McKinley this past decade. So he goes on and on and on. And he talks about bringing in veterans. Why not instead sign a veteran or two to compete with Jackson, either by waiting to see who's released in the next months ahead, perhaps La'el Collins when Cincinnati, or signing an available free agent, Brandon Shell, Cam Fleming, George Fant, or doing both. Shell remains unsigned, allowing just 2 sacks at 11 starts for the Dolphins last season. But Shell was also, if you follow me on Twitter, he olayed and let a guy go right by him. I wanted them to go out and get a legit guy. So this also came from Drew Rosenhaus. Agent Drew Rosenhaus in his weekly Fox 7 segment on Sunday suggested the Dolphins are more likely to trade to acquire more picks than move up in the draft. He said the Dolphins would like to acquire more picks beyond what they have: a 2nd round, a 3rd, a 6th, and a 7th. Besides offensive lineman and tight end, Rosenhaus identified cornerback as another area Dolphins would like to address in the draft. I don't know if that's breaking news. Like, if we're sitting at 51 and there's still a bunch of options, and again, I'll do mock drafts and we'll see how those, I think I'll do 2 mock drafts, but maybe in the same video, where I do one where with trades and one without trades. But we'll see once we hit 51 if there's like 3 or 4 options possible, and then like a team that's like 3 or 4 spots back wants to trade up and give us a 4th or something, then by all means trade down and get the picks and do that stuff. But the fact of that Drew Rosenhaus is saying he doesn't see the Dolphins moving up. I know last year the Dolphins tried to move up. That's what that's what Chris Greer said. But he said that the asking price was ridiculous, and it's probably because he didn't want to trade this year's picks, even though he did trade this year's picks to get Tyreek Hill. So I don't see that as strange, but I would be surprised if they traded up. Because again, and I said this time and time and time again, especially if you look at the way they have structured contracts, the way they pick up the 5th-year option of Tua, it's a 2-year plan. What's going on right now is a 2-year plan, so I doubt Chris Greer is going to want to trade up to get anybody and take away picks from next year, right? Especially if, say, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, because if it does happen, that means the team loses, but the team falls flat on its face. Tua comes out and he looks completely different than he has. He falls, he fails, and the Dolphins need to go out and think about quarterback. They need those picks to either move up and get a quarterback, because I doubt they're going to be top 5, top 10, regardless of how bad anyone does. I think the defense is going to do fantastic, or trade for a quarterback. So there's a lot of ifs and buts that we don't know, so I really doubt that the Dolphins are going to trade up. So that's what I got for you today. Wasn't, again, a little short one. I got a ton of draft stuff. A ton of draft stuff that I got to do. I got some more collabs. I'm working on getting a player. And I can't say if it's definite or not, but I suggested that he come on the channel, and he liked the tweet, and then I hit him up in a DM. And then I had one of my guys who was at the luau yesterday for you, tonight for me, who I have pictures. He's been sending me pictures Sean, I hope I don't blow up your spot here. Um, but he's been sending me pictures of him and his family with Tua, and he's at the luau. Here's him with his wife and his daughter with Mike McDaniel. So he's been sending me pictures. So I'm trying my best to get a player on, and I already hit him up, and he kind of talked to him. So I'm not going to tell you who, but I'm trying my best. But I got a lot planned for you guys, so comment below. Let me know what you think about what Tua had to say. Are you excited just as much as he is and the other players? Let me know what you think about what Bear Jackson dropped on us, saying don't take a player because we've sucked 1 out of 17. Trading back. Comment below. Let me know what you think of all that stuff. And I'm going to get the comment of the day. And this comment comes from Jay Leonidas. I love that name. And he says, comment of the day, who do you think on each side of the ball is going to be most improved? I think Javon Holland, since Fangio loves his safeties. And I think it'll be Tua, since this will be the first time he's had consistent offensive coaches. It's a very good question. And I'm going to do a video like this later on in the off season. It's a very good question. On the defensive side, right? Obviously, Javon Holland, like you said, Vic loves his safeties, but like Bradley Chubb, right? It was kind of a disappointment last year when we got him. But I think with Vic Fangio and his scheme and how he really likes to help the guys in front, Bradley Chubb, and maybe even Jalen Phillips, breaks 10 sacks. Because he was so close so many times to getting 10 sacks. I'm going to say that. On the offensive side of the ball, Tua. He needs to consistently keep getting better, and he needs to improve. But I'm going to say Raheem Mostert. I want to see him really come out, and I think he can. I think he started to go on a roll towards the end of the year. I'm going to say Raheem Mostert. Comment below. Let me know. Who do you think? Jay Leonidas, great question. Who do you think on the offense and defense side of the ball is going to be most improved next year? Comment below, and I will see you guys tomorrow with Broshmo. Me and Broshmo are going to break some things down and talk offensive linemen. But like usual, stay classy. And fence out.